friend of mine called me up and asked me if our family wanted to participate and go build homes for homeless in Tijuana. I love working at the soup kitchen and volunteering, so we jumped up and said, absolutely, we'll go. Well, it's hard to describe. It's really impossible to describe with words. There's nothing like going down. Because we had such a good time and such a great experience, we started taking leaders from our company down to experience this.
Can we steal this
And
one?
the idea came about that we might do it on a larger scale and invite our associates, which is our employees from across the country, to come and join on a volunteer basis, and they'd give up 2 days of their weekend, and they'd get 2 paid days and come down to Mexico and build houses for homeless people. I was really excited to do it as a company because it just opens up, anybody who goes, it just opens up their eyes to what poverty is like, but in a really good, healthy way, because they get to be a part of making someone's life so much better and giving them a real future and hope. That it impacts their children, their ability to go to school, it impacts their general health, and just in so many positive ways. In a short period of time, you just make a huge impact. So I was excited to see that a company was going to step up and actually send its employees down. We've invited other companies to do the same, and other companies have done the same.
Why would we go to Mexico to build? Well, we could go anywhere, for sure. But Mexico is a beautiful project because Youth with a Mission, it's a Christian group that I've worked with. I've been down 9 times already, but they know how to organize. So we show up, and I know my people will be well fed, well cared for, well taken care of, transportations and vehicles that I trust, and they've already pre-selected a family that we can work with. So for me, the trips to Mexico are about inspiring my team to see the way they can change the world.
Like, I had grabbed my flyers on the way out. I was going to drive my son to work, and I was in the car warming it up, and then I decided to read it. You know, half the time you just throw them out. And when I started reading the volunteering, I thought, oh, cool, Boardwalk does things like this. But when I saw that it was an actual, you know, application, almost like a, you know, like a flyer, say, hey, if you're interested, volunteer, I was like shocked. You know, who does that?
Just the feeling that you get, it is absolutely amazing. Just to come out and do this. I mean, you always know that there's people out there that need this help, but you see it on TV. But when you get here, it's so surreal.
Homes of Hope was started to meet a need. In Mexico, there's 100 million people approximately. 50% of the population of Mexico is considered impoverished. 50% of those are in poverty, meaning they don't have enough income to adequately take care of their own families.
So this is, they put rocks and a tarp up on the top of their house because the water was coming in so much on them. Almost. ¿Cuántos hay que viven aquí?
7.
7 people are living in here right now.
That's 8.
His mom, his dad, y tiene 5 hermanos. ¿Son 5 o qué?
3, bueno, son 6.
Oh, there's 6.
Y 7 y 8 para el gato.
And the dog and the cat. So cool. Okay.
Aquí es donde duermo yo y mi hermano, pero pusieron mucha ropa.
So, aquí ¿quién duerme o quién
Mi
vive?
mamá y mi papá y mi hermanita.
So my mom and my dad and my little sister sleep here, he says.
Ahí miramos
¿Y aquí
películas
quién
en la
duerme?
tele, aquí mi hermano se comió.
And then him and his brother sleep here.
Hola, Yuri.
We have a lot of false assumptions about poverty. Sometimes people think, well, people are poor because they're lazy, or people are poor because of this or that. And one of the best definitions of poverty I ever heard was that poverty is a lack of options. When you're poor, you don't have lots of choices.
Cuando era niño, pues, yo boxeaba, representaba a mi ciudad y a mi estado como en Juegos Olímpicos Nacionales. Creí que ese iba a ser mi trabajo, ser un atleta, un deportista, pero por, no sé, las cosas cambian y el tiempo y la vida y no funcionó y como me dedicaba nada más a eso, a ser atleta, deportista, pues dejé los estudios para dedicarme de lleno y cuando no se me realizó, pues bueno, ya no supe qué otra cosa trabajar y pues ha sido un poco más difícil. Tenemos 13 años pagando renta y pues la verdad tuvimos que hacer un sacrificio de venirnos a vivir a casa de mi mamá para poder ahorrar algún dinero para poder agarrar un terreno. Creímos que nosotros íbamos a poder construir, pero no hemos podido, la verdad. Es muy caro pagar la mensualidad del terreno y yo gano muy poco, tengo 2 bebés. Hay que pagar leche, pañales, la comida es muy cara aquí en México y no me alcanza. Y para construir sale muy caro, es muy caro el material. Y la verdad, podría levantar algún cuartito de lona, pero tengo un bebé de 3 meses y el niño se me iban a estar enfermando. Por eso estamos aquí en casa de mi mamá, esperando que nos ayuden.
We really search for the poor of the poorest to help, and there's an interview process before the family receives the home. We want to make sure that they own their land so that at no point somebody can come and take the house away from them. And so one of the requirements is that the family owns their own land or has been making payments on their land and they're not behind on their payments. They have to have at least 2 kids and they have to make under between $80 and $100 a week to qualify for a home.
Before they received their Homes of Hope house, they were living in this little 1-room shack right here with their front door right on the road. So when the cars passed or anybody passed by, they were just open to whatever was going on in the community. And then they received their Homes of Hope house, and inside it has a dirt floor. And they received their Homes of Hope house there, and they were able to put it back off of the main road so they have an area for their kids to play, to have a little garden. And also now they've connected onto, inside there is a bathroom, and they've kind of like run it around so that they have their kitchen in this area and they keep their family safe and sound with their bedrooms in the Homes of Hope house. I'm a part of a program that we do here that involves community development, discipleship, and also after-school tutoring for the children. So I have the joy of following up with a lot of the families that have already received homes, some from Boardwalk, and I can see a great change in this community as a whole, the more and more houses that get built here.
There's a lot of benefits when we give a family a home that go beyond just the normal compassion and emotion that we feel when we hand them the keys. What we give to the families in one weekend would take them 7 to 10 years to replicate on their own, depending on their economic level.
Okay, so they're celebrating 2 years of having their house built. It was built on their oldest daughter's birthday. Now her birthday's here again, and so they're having a little party, celebrating her birthday and celebrating the anniversary of their new house.
Children who come back to a home that the family owns are 3 times more likely to stay in school. When a family comes back to a home, it changes the mindset of the parents. The parents think long-term instead of short-term. And whenever you can get a poor family to start thinking long-term rather than short-term, you can break the cycle of poverty in one generation through Homes of Hope by helping the family think differently, implicationally about their own future. When a group of people come all the way from Canada and actually demonstrate, hey, we love you, we care about you, we want to be here, we want to bless you, we want to help you, that has a tremendous spiritual impact on the family's life.
Ay, no, me siento bien contenta, bien feliz. No lo puedo creer que venga gente de tan lejos a venir a ayudar a la gente que necesita. Es algo increíble, es algo muy bonito que solamente, ay no sé, solamente Dios lo puede hacer, solamente Dios.
I would say it's a humbling experience for us It's the first time that we are able to see the living standard is such a big gap between the two countries. For us to do a tiny bit to build one house is really, a humbling experience for the whole team.
We're building a 16 by 20 house with 3 rooms. 2 of them are going to be bedrooms and 1 of them is going to be like a living room / a kitchen. We put a furniture kit. We put 2 bunk beds with their mattresses and bedding and a table with 4 chairs and some dishes and a stove. And we're also taking them shopping, so we're going to buy some supplies for them as well.
Al año vino la muchacha la que me la hizo.
She says the 1 year later.
Para ver cómo vivía
They
ella.
came back to see how she was living, how the house was.
Y me trajo pintura.
And they bought her paint to touch up. Ay, qué rico.
Sí, me pusieron literas y me dieron mucha despensa.
And they bought her to go shopping, and she was able to have a lot of food for her
Mucha
family.
despensa, me hicieron literas, me dio un comedor y ropa.
Clothes, a dining room table.
Porque nomás tenía una sola cama y tengo 3 hijas.
Before she was just living in
Me
a
hicieron
little house
literas.
with 1 bed and her 3 daughters and her and her
Esa vez lloré como nunca.
And I cried that day like never before.
Mi viejo nunca había llorado y esa vez, es que en nuestra casa
Her husband had
todos
never
se mojaban.
cried, and that time he was a mess. And her old house used to get wet inside all over.
Sí, feliz.
¿Y ahora?
No, feliz. O sea, ya le puse enfrente, ya la añadí para enfrente y para atrás.
And now she's actually expanded her house also a little bit in the front and also in the back.
Ya.
Ay, pues
Pero ahora
felicidades.
trabajo, en ese tiempo no trabajaba.
Ay, un buen recuerdo.
Sí, me lo hizo Juventud con una misión.
Sí, igual como nosotros.
¿Oh, sí? Sí. Feliz, le digo, ay, le digo, ya te acabo en tu casa, ¿verdad?
And they just asked her, hey, you are getting a house too, right?
Pues ánimo y adelante,
Encourage
chicos.
and keep
Adelante,
lots of encouragement and keep on going. Igualmente, bye, señora.
That's awesome.
Do we get a lot of beans? Okay. Okay, so before I've always lived with different family members. At first my family was living with my husband's family. Then we were living with my mom for a small time.
Y ahora pues ya vamos a tener contentas porque vamos a tener algo que ya va a ser nuestro.
And so I'm really happy now because finally we're going to have something that's our own.
Pues yo estoy agradecida porque siempre he tenido el apoyo de mi familia y donde vivir.
I'm really thankful because I've always had the support of my family, a place to live with them.
Pero cuando nosotros pudimos agarrar el terreno,
But when we were able to get our own land,
estuve muy contenta, pero es un poco difícil empezar.
I was also really happy, but it was so difficult to be able to start without anything.
Empezar a tener algo propio.
To start to be able to have something that's our own here.
Y con esto pues ya va a estar un poquito más fácil
And now that we're going to have our own house, it'll be a little bit easier to keep going.
Estoy muy contenta y muy agradecida.
And I'm really happy and I'm so thankful.
How's the luck today?
Pretty good, much better than yesterday. I mean, I guess half an hour from now we should have the 4 walls up. And if everything goes well, around 1 o'clock this afternoon, the roof should be all completed, ready to just put the shingles on. So it's going pretty well.
We have so many people that come down and want to build a house, and they come with such a beautiful attitude of servanthood that they want to go and they want to bless the families that they're building for. But what they don't realize is that they leave feeling so full of joy and so blessed themselves. We have our dedication and they see how moved the families are, that they're receiving something that they really could have never gotten on their own. And I've seen grown men just be brought to tears by the emotion of that great gift that we're giving over to them.
We have the keys to your
So
new
aquí
house.
están las llaves
And we're going to pass them around the circle.
y vamos a pasarlas por el
And we're all going
círculo
to say something about,
y vamos a decir algo de
building a
nuestra
house for you.
experiencia aquí.
I am so happy I came.
Yo estoy muy feliz que vine. Es el
You
día del
you are a
equipo.
beautiful family.
Tienen una familia hermosa.
It's just been really, really fun, and I'm
Ha
so
sido
happy
muy
to be here.
divertido
And
y estoy muy feliz de estar aquí.
I'm gonna pass it.
Thank you for the opportunity to build this house for you. It's been a great pleasure, and it's great to meet you guys, and I wish you very many years of happiness in this house.
I'm so happy that I was able to come and meet you and be a part of this. And I just want you to remember that your home is a home that love built.
You know, you walk around the office and people say, oh, you're going for your first time and it's so cool, it's going to change you. And you sort of, you say, oh yeah, great. And it's just words and you go, yeah, you're sure, it's going to be fantastic and so on. But until you get here, honest to God, I really had no idea. It's actually overwhelming in some ways, and it's overwhelming in the simplicity of what we're doing, but the huge impact such a simple act by a few can serve. That's what I'm finding. And you know, on the Friday night, Sean from the mission said, you know, when you give, you receive, and that's fantastic, and those are great words. And you know, I carried on with my dinner, and I never gave it a lot of thought, to be honest with you. But I actually feel like I've not just received, but I've actually stolen from people. I feel so good about what we've done. I mean, for the 2 days that we're working here, and we're working hard and we're doing some really cool stuff, but in no way compares to what I feel like I've gotten back. Like, I feel like I've cheated somehow and I got something so cool for so little from my perspective. I have so much, and for me to come here for 2 days, I just really feel, yeah, I feel like I'm in on a big secret here that other people should know about.
If the truth is known, most of us think about our own lives a lot. We think about what we're concerned about, and when we actually take the time to think about another family, come down, swing a hammer, paint. That's the other thing about Homes of Hope, is everybody can do it. We've got 8-year-olds to 80-year-olds that can come and participate. We've got painting and drywall and cutting and nailing and stuff that everybody can do. You don't need to be an expert. You don't need to be a builder to be a part of Homes of Hope. And as we give out, it actually recalibrates us and we sort of become human again.
Okay, so the mom's not here right now. Okay. Okay, ella estaba en tu construcción. Vengan a saludar. And Lucero. Lucero. And ¿y la bebé?
So why did you want to come back and see these guys?
Because they're just so sweet. Every time we build, the kids are just so sweet, and you get to know the family and spend time. And the little boy Javier was just so sweet, and I just loved him. He was really sweet.
So before, when they lived in another community, before everyone was relocated to here, their house burned down. The mama? Yeah, and her little sister was inside. And she was just a little baby. And our house burned down and we didn't have anything. We didn't have anything. We didn't have any money or a car or a house or anything.
I think it helps you remember what's important in life. You know, the basics, like, you know, fresh air, you know, sunlight, and just not to take things for granted as we do back home, because we do. We take so much for granted. We don't realize how much we have that we waste. And, you know, because we're always like, we want more, you know. We want to provide more, we want to give more, you know, but it's always, we're just caught up on the wrong things, I find. You know, just the basic necessities of life we need to learn to appreciate again and just stop. You know, smell the fresh air, look at a beautiful flower, you know, just little things like that. You know, those are the important things.
It's always a positive spin-off in that we found in our experience with our team participating in something like this it's a renewal to get more engaged in local community. There's lots of opportunities to give back and to serve in our local communities, and this really reinvigorates the importance of that and encourages everybody to look around the local community and ask, what can I be doing in our local community that's going to help build up the entire community?
Hi there. Hi, Matt. How are you today? Good, thanks. How are you? I'm doing very well, thank you. Good, let's go right on in, all right? After our trip to Tijuana, we wanted to continue to do things like this. Therefore, we have arranged to go to Ukraine. We are going to be working in an orphanage in a city called Novovolinsk. We'll be there for 10 days, and we're also delivering food hampers into the mountains in the Carpathians on the west side of the country there.
When I lived in Ukraine, we had packages sent from people from Canada, I believe, with things that we needed, things for kids. So I know how much it helped our family to have people someplace thousands of miles away to come or to do something for us. I think more than excited, I'm probably just sad now just because I know what to expect, and I know that it's sad because I know that very easily I could have been one of the people that still live there. And many times my mom has said that if we hadn't left when we did, she doesn't know how she would have fed all of us or be able to support us. So it'll be a nice experience to be there and just to give back, but also I think it'll be a very sad experience for me as well.
Everybody really has a part in serving others and getting involved in their community, and everybody has something to give. And identifying that and sharing it with the community and those in most need is really the most rewarding thing we can ever do.
I happen to believe that philanthropy is good business. So I take no shame in people saying, well, just a minute, you're trying to combine business and charity? You know what? That's the way the business world works, and why hide it? Let's just put it out there and do it.
Well, I think that you can have a significant effect because you also set an example for your people. I mean, you've got a responsibility to not just say, please work hard and make money for me as the principal shareholder. Please go ahead and, yes, that's why we're hiring you and that's your job. But to take it far beyond that, to say, you know, we're going to make money as a company. We're going to do the best we can. We're going to deliver value to clients. We're going to really make an impact. But oh, by the way, some of the fruits of doing the right thing, we're going to be able to use those fruits and try to improve the lives of others.
It's helped our company in every aspect, in that the most important thing about a company is people. And great people have great leaders and great servants. And we believe to be a great leader, you have to be a great servant. And we love the servant model. And when we serve one another, miracles and amazing things happen. And that really is teamwork at its best. And teamwork is part of our core values, and we try to live it every day. And we do amazing things with teamwork that we could never do as individuals.
I've worked for a few companies in my life, as many of us have, and I've been on a variety of team building exercises and so on, and some are good and some are not so good. I mean, if one were to just view this as strictly a team building exercise, which it's not, it's far, far more than that, obviously, but if one were to assess it on those terms, the chasm between this and the other team building exercises I've been on is just, it's so wide. I mean, this is just, you know, to throw everybody in a pile from all walks of our company, and the variety of employees that we have is so broad, from, you know, senior management executive to the important people that look after and clean our buildings, and for everybody to be pulled together into one group and to a single common goal, that house. I mean, there's nothing abstract really about what we're doing. We're building that house. I mean, it's abstract in the sense that of what it means in the long term for the families in the community, but the goal to build this house and for everybody to pull together and achieve that goal with such efficiency and such fervor and such joy, honestly, is not what I mean, it's not what I was expecting. I just didn't think it would be so cohesive. And you know, you have your rank or your position or your city, when you're in this environment, really kind of evaporates, and it just doesn't matter who you are or what you do. We are a group here to build this house for this family, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we've done, and so it's very hard to describe. Very, very cool. I will go back much different than I came, I would say. That's safe to say. It's probably a bit of a cliche, but I would say it's true in my case.
I think people at the end of the day want to be part of something, and they want to help contribute, and they want to know their life, their work matters.
Whether it's paying it forward or simply inspiring other people to do what you're doing, I mean, there's three things that everyone can do for charity: time, money, and I call the creative application of time and money leadership. And I think most businesses are also very, very capable of allocating a bit of time and a bit of money, and therefore leadership, to causes.
Me imagino que va a ser voy a ser muy feliz porque va a ser de nosotros. Vamos a hacer un jardincito, un bañito, no sé, siento que va a ser muy diferente, muy feliz vamos a ser allí.
When we first got here, and I've never met the mom, she came up to me and started to cry and hugged me and said thank you, gracias, gracias, gracias. And I was just wondering why she was thanking me, because we hadn't started, we hadn't lifted a tool, we hadn't done anything. And I thought about that the night I got back, and we did one thing: we came. There's a lot of poor here, and they're all waiting. Can you come and help the poor?